Hello Duelists, it's Tombox here coming at you with the ban list of TCG September 2017, effective immediately, and we're not going to get a ban list until, well, November, or after November. So in other words, that's our little safe period. They're going to keep us in the dark now. They're just going to be like, this is your safe zone, and that's it. And I know I'm the last guy to the party here about the ban list talk, but hey, better late than never. We're going to actually do a thorough discussion about everything that was hit. We're going to analyze this entire ban list, and we're actually going to talk about potential future decks that can be very good, and what this ban list is actually pushing forward. What is the Konami agenda here? Okay, so starting off with the list, and then we'll go into the thorough discussion, and let's try to go over the reasoning behind every single card's ban. True Draco ban, of course, they were just so dominant, so abusable. Everyone actually played the deck, or for the most of the format when they were released. So Dynamite Knight, well, going to 0. I believe this card was actually the best card in the deck because it fetched out the trap. And the trap was what made the deck super strong. It had monster control. And this guy was very, very sticky. He retrieved other traps for you, like True King's Return. That just made it very difficult for anyone to kind of play around him. And he just triggers. He doesn't trigger. He's a quick effect upon your effect. So, yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. Grand Soil is banned for FTK purposes. Infinite loops with Firewall Dragon. Nothing more need to be added for that. True King Lithosagem made dinosaurs a bit too strong, gave him that pop that they needed for the baby Cerasauruses. Even if Dragonic Diagram was banned, it doesn't matter if they have this card. So they actually just took out the key card here, which is the Earth Destruction. And as a part of collateral damage, True Draco Yang, or True King Dino Yang Zing, whatever that deck is, yeah, Yang Zing's losing Denlong. So in other words, the negation combo is actually halted. That kind of sucks for Yang Zing players losing one of the best level 5 synchros in their actual deck if you're just playing Yang Zings and not playing dinosaurs. Well, blame dinosaurs for why you're losing out this card. The next card is a bit of a surprise to me, Daigusto Emerald, but it shouldn't have come to me as a surprise. FTK reasons. The Infernity FTK, this card is a pivotal part of, well, I guess 70% of the consistency, because when you go into Daigusto Emerald, you're able to revive the Gaia Lightning, and that gives you a Firewall Dragon, and that part of the combo made Firewall super cheap to make. And with Linkuriboh, potentially, it's going to get even cheaper. And Zodiac bans. We're losing Broad Bull, and we're losing Trident. Okay, so the tempo of the game definitely slowed down. You don't have to pass the Trident test anymore, and we know why Zodiacs are banned. Zodiacs are probably dead completely. Let's move on to Limited. For limited stuff, we have, well, Ignis. So True Draco taking additional hits, actually taking pretty serious hits here. You're losing right now, you're losing 3 copies of Dynamite Knight, and you're also losing 2 copies of Ignis Heat. Didn't think that he would actually make it onto the list, but apparently he is here right now. I guess he gave you a bit too much synergy, too much draw power to kind of set up your board. Okay, well, that moving on. Dinosaur is actually taking a direct hit here. Miscellaneousaurus, I guess you're not going to get that free turn anymore, so you gotta play with him, be very careful with him, because you're actually losing a bit of recovery. But you still have Giant Rexes and stuff, and most of your big stuff isn't even touched. And we have Rapier. Rapier going to 1, so you're never going to spam any more Rapiers unless you steal it from your opponent using Lullaby or something like that. Well, this is well-deserved hit. Zoo. So board wipes are actually taking an L here. We're losing 1 Dark Hole, and we're also losing 1 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. That spells disaster in the future for those that are going to be playing, well, I believe Spirals. I'll get into that in a bit. Oh, for something that's good news, Gateway of the Six. Of course, this is for promotional purposes. They're gonna bring this back just so that when they bring out Spirit Warriors, you're gonna have like, oh my god, Gateway, I can totally play 6 Sams. And they should have given us 3 if they really want us to do that. And True King's Return, well, this was the most powerful trap. It is the Monster Reborn. It is, well, once per turn, but you can constantly bring back more and more monsters, and it made the board extremely difficult to break, and breaking this card was just a pain in the ass. It basically, most of the True Draco stuff set a threshold where anything that cannot deal with True Draco or dinosaurs, they are not meta. And that's basically what they did. And let's go on to semi-limited. Now for semi-limited stuff, we have BLS, and everything on the semi-limited list here are just stuff coming back from limited, actually. So we have BLS. Oh my god, this boss monster, I don't think in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! This card was ever at 2. Maybe on release you could play him at 3. I don't even think that was the case. I think it was at 1 for a very, very long time. It was banned, and that was at 1, and then it just stayed there. Now we're having this at 2. Chaos Sork, you can move aside because now you're a garbage card. You got 2 BLSs. Why would you ever play Chaos Sork? I'm actually a bit surprised that Chaos M didn't come back with the errata and everything. Now, we have Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. Okay, well, this card was on the ban since Pepe, was limited to 1. Of course, it was one of the best ones because it could make Ignister the prominence, and that was one of those powerful cards. But of course, pendulums are, well, definitely not very good. So they're giving pendulum players a bone to play with this card. Mathematician, not much to say. I don't think it actually needed to be here. It didn't need to be on this list for a while now, ever since the Duelist Alliance era kind of ended. Of course, Bryanak not seeing much play and kind of getting overshadowed by Coral Dragon, since Coral Dragon is a better, well, level 6 synchro. And TG Hyper Librarian at 2, I guess it's fine because not many people play Quasars anymore because Quasar is very difficult to make and it's very gimmicky if you do run a deck that does make Quasar. But Hyper Librarian, if you can abuse it, go ahead, now's your chance. Brain Control didn't see too much play. I think we're going to see more play of Brain Control in the upcoming format. Mainly as a side deck card. I don't see people maining this unless, of course, there's going to be a lot of monsters that can be normal summoned or set coming into play. Maybe you can steal Magiballs. Maybe Magiballs will actually do something in TCG since they did not hit certain cards. Burial, oh my god. This card was a disaster back in the zombie format. When you actually resolve this card, you can actually gain so many pluses. I think the case is still the same now, but of course, zombies are definitely going to benefit with this card. Maybe Lightsworn too, depending on how you play Lightsworn. El Shaddai Fusion, oh my god. I don't know if Konami's being a troll on this one because they didn't give you Construct. What's the point of giving El Shaddai Fusion if you don't give us Construct? It's like, here, this is like hinting maybe Construct will come back, maybe next list. We all can pray, cross your fingers, guys. And preparation rights with Necros out of the way. Prep rights, what are you gonna do? Well, Herald decks are definitely gonna benefit off of this. Maybe even combine it with some of the counter fairy stuff. I don't know. Vendred can play this card too, so which ritual deck do you think is gonna benefit off of this card? I kind of wish Necros got their Shrit back. Sorry, Shrit, you're still in the Shadow Realm. And for stuff coming back, the Breed Dragon, not much to talk about it unless you're gonna spam Dandelion again. But of course, normal summoning is a very slow mechanic now compared to all the special summons you can do. And, you know, shoutouts to Nishi. Honest is at 3. Yes, now you can Honest someone to death. You can go Honest, Honest, Honest. You can go, what was that trap card? Beckoning Light? Get 3 Honest to your hand and then just kill someone? Oh yeah, that feels great. Yeah, so this is a possibility too. And maybe you can actually play with a lot more of those light decks. Lightsworn is basically back at full power now. Yeah, Lightsworn is at full power now. What am I talking about? We have Rescue Cat and Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Cat, I don't know the application yet, but I know eventually someone will abuse it. Of course, all the limitation of you can only use once per turn does neuter the cat a little bit, but you know, you can still use it to create a very solid opening. And Rescue Rabbit, I guess, rejoice for all of you World Chalice players. Triple Rabbit definitely gives you a lot of consistency, especially when you do run a shit ton of vanilla. Yes, you can set up your extra link combo, you can set up your big boards. Without Zodiac in the way, it just makes it so that every other deck that couldn't keep up with it, well, welcome back to the TCG. And next up, Summoner Monk. I don't know what I think about this, putting them at 3. I guess certain decks will abuse Summoner Monk. I wonder if the Infernity deck can come back, because since Infernity deck did lose the Daigusto Emerald to FTK people, I feel like someone's actually going to find a new way to actually loop around it since they didn't touch any of the Infernity cards. They only touched the Daigusto Emerald, which was a very pivotal piece, but I think there are ways to actually abuse Synchros and Gofus to get to that exact same point where you can just FTK someone again. You know what? If you guys figure that out, you know, make a video and we'll showcase that video. As for Witch of the Black Forest, I think her coming back, well, from the Forbidden list, I think it's okay. She does have that limitation with the new errata where she can only be activated once per turn, hard once per turn, and on top of that, the card that she adds to her hand cannot be used. But I think you just can't activate cards or effect with that name for the rest of the turn. which means you can still summon the card. In other words, Dark Arm Dragon, well, hello baby, welcome back. You can actually be searched by this card. You can still summon the card, but I believe you just can't use the effects of the cards. So in other words, you can still use it to swing for 28. I don't know. You can also use her to actually search Max C. One thing that you can actually try to do with her is if you manage to summon her onto the field, whether you summon a monk to actually tag her out, you can, if you summon a monk, you can tag her into a Link 2 right away and then get yourself a search, say like a Max C. Or another way would be if you have her and Spellbook of Knowledge, you can send her to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, and search that wonderful Max C once again, or get yourself Dark Arm Dragon. I don't know. Dark Arm Dragon seems like it's viable again with this card, since you can search it straight out of the deck. I just thought that was kind of funny, because that was the dream back in the day of Teledad, where, man, I wish I could just search Dark Arm Dragon, but you only had Sangan, which was still banned at the time. And more Lightsworn love. We have a Charge of the Light Brigade at 3, so I guess Lightsworn engine is a legit milling engine now. So instead of playing Grass Looks Greener, you could play Charge of the Light Brigade at 3. That could potentially mill you 9 cards, and this card's not once per turn, so you can definitely spam out a lot of lights. If you run your Fairy Tale Snow instead, like, you have tons of things you can actually just mill into the graveyard. And Dragon's Reign, long time coming, should have came back. Don't think it matters too much. Sure, we can still play Destrudo. People thought that maybe they'll just limit this so you can't get it as consistently. Guess not. And as the last card for Pendulum players to finally get their Wavering Eyes back, although I don't know how many mirror matches of Wavering Eyes you're going to have, unless, of course, we finally see, well, Pendulum Links. That's just a theory. It's probably going to happen where the Pendulum Links can point this way. They can point that way or point up. Think about it. It does fit in your mat. Huh? But until then, Wavering Eyes, well, it's pretty solid card. Of course, you can get yourself a search of any Pendulum card. You can search for that Luster that you just lost. Monkey Board, of course, isn't here yet. Too bad, so sad. Can you imagine if we actually got Monkey Board? But definitely don't underestimate Pendulum players, just because they can actually burn you to death too. And if you're just so happening to be playing a mirror match, oh, the Wavering Eyes battle is back. Who's got more Wavering Eyes? You know, back in the day of Pepe? Well, that basically covers up most of this list. Now, let's actually talk about some of the survivors. Now, for survivors, we have Gofu. Gofu is still at 3. Masterpiece is still at 3. Draconic Diagram is still at 3. Barrage is at 3, but ha! Zodiac. Oviraptor is at 3, and Stratos is still banned. Didn't survive. But okay, let's actually talk about these cards. Gofu being a link, like one of the best cards to play links with. Konami is being very clear here that they want us to advance into Link 4. They want more people to experience it. Think about it right now. Most people that played in the past format during Links, they were mainly playing either Infernity FTK, which was pretty damn degenerate. They were either playing Zodiac with just Mrs. Radiant and nothing else, or they're playing no links at all, playing Demise, True Draco, or they're playing Dino Yang Zing. Think decks that just basically don't need the extra deck for the most part. And clearly with this hit, they are really just pushing for it. Hey guys, you should play links because that's the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I guess their products are going to move in that direction. We're going to see some pretty busted links. We already have pretty damn busted links, and I think that was actually the wrong way to go. They could have actually slowed the entire game down so it would welcome more people in, but instead they decided to, like, hey, see, links are very good, cool, new shiny stuff. Try it out, guys, why not? And then now we have, well, FTKs and stuff. They gave us so many FTKs, now they have to ban off all the FTKs. Okay, so Gofu coming back, Masterpiece, and of course, Draconic Diagram still being available. Draconic Diagram is actually more for dinos. Dinos can actually still play very well, but they have to change it up quite a bit, especially with the loss of Lithosagem. You need to play more fire or maybe even water dinosaurs to actually merge in with the True King engine. You gotta play the Water True King, you still got the Fire True King, and those guys aren't bad either, especially Water True King. You summon a guy in defense mode out of the deck, so that's not too bad. Maybe you can even mix in the True Dracos in there. That is also a possibility, I'm not gonna lie right there. Okay, so Masterpiece is still available in terms of the True Draco side. So the True Draco engine, you still have Triple Heritage, You still have triple disciples. Sure, you did lose about 5 monsters, 5 of your best monsters, but I guess you'll have to play Maiden now. You don't have to play Maiden. Just play 2 Masterpiece, that one Ignis, and fine, we'll play the 1 Maiden. Then you can still actually have an engine going. Of course, your spell engine is going to be a lot slower. The stuff that tags up the best cards, the spells and the traps, yeah, they're a bit neutered, but you still have triple diagram. Triple diagram still available, so I guess you can still play it, even for Dino players. As for triple barrage, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna explain the Zodiac situation. Zodiacs definitely, they're like dead. Zodiacs, think about it this way. How can they actually activate any of their Xyz monster at this point? They need a card in the graveyard. Their setup is a lot slower than you might think. They need a rat to actually set up, and to set up, they need to throw in a Zodiac monster into the graveyard before they can even get up 2 Zodiac monsters at once. In other words, the whole free Zodiac combo thing is absolutely gone, thanks to Broad Bull dying. Zodiac Broad Bull and Trident were the 2 cards that were able to detach to fuel the graveyard, to actually get anything, if you think about it that way. So if you normal summon out, say, a Whiptail overlay into a Hammer Kong, what do you go into next? You can't use Chaki9's effect. Chaki9 can't really get off first turn unless you use a Foolish Burial or use Rat in the beginning. In other words, you're not going to be able to get the 2 monster play. And without the 2 monster play, you're not going to be able to throw a Hammer Kong onto the field and then use Tiger Mortar to attach something to it. That's just how slow Zodiac has gone. In terms of an engine, yeah, not that great. But of course, you can use Barrage to actually set up the first monster. It's still free. It's an E-Telly at worst. But then again, think about how many cards that actually offer you a free summon at the very moment. We have Unexpected Die, we have Emergency Teleport. Well, I guess those are the 2 that I can really relate to in terms of the Zodiac Barrage. But you guys kind of get the idea. You still have Tenki as well as triple Tenki, but overall, you don't have that tempo that you used to offer. So, and Zodiacs don't exactly have the best back rows either, so, and you're basically all bark and no bite at this point. What else died? Dino Yang Zing died. I feel a bit, no, I don't feel bad at all for the Yang Zing stuff, because Denlong was a very hard answer. Like, you kaiju a Denlong, and guess what? They bring out another dude, and guess who comes back with it usually? If you destroy the Denlong, you get the Chiwen back, and Chiwen will go into what was that stupid fairy? The Herald. The Herald Negator. So many negations. You got 9 pillars, you got Herald. Just, it was very hard to play through it. And with the Dinosaurs Onslaught coming, you're basically dead, because dinosaurs, huge damage coming from them. So what are some of the good decks coming forward? Zombies are getting a huge boost with the Burial from Different Dimension, and I can expect them to do very well. So if you're a Shiranui player, congratulations, you probably have a pretty decent deck. You might be a rogue, or maybe even tier 2, maybe even tier 1. We'll see in the upcoming events. Pendulum decks, don't underestimate them. They're probably one of the most solid rogue decks out there, especially if people decide to pursue it. Maybe if some of the top players decide to pursue pendulums, like, hey, it's not dead yet. And don't forget, there is a deck that did play pendulums. Infernities did play pendulums. Of course, with Broad Bull gone, you get your whole extra deck back, and you can still play the, well, you don't have Daigusto Emerald. Emerald's gone, so you gotta find a new way to actually perform your combos. Maybe you won't go into triple Firewall, because that was really hard. Any deck that can go into triple Firewall definitely had stupid advantage, because your opponent has to deal with you bouncing at least 3 cards, or if they try to board wipe you, you just recollect your entire hand. That was very hard for anyone to actually deal with. But definitely Pendulum players, you're gonna be able to actually do some massive damage, especially those who are playing Magicians. Since you're able to pop off your own scales, your purple poison's gonna get additional advantage, and so on and so forth. Lightsworn, you guys are at full power. You're beyond your prime, since now you have 2 BLSs to play. Can you actually keep up with the upcoming formats? Time will tell. It's most likely a yes. I'm gonna see a lot of Lightsworn players playing at regionals with triple Honest. Beckoning Light was one of the funniest finishing moves I've seen people do, where they have a handful of cards and then they're like, chain Beckoning Light on your attack, add 3 Honest back to hand, and then on the damage calc, triple Honest for game. That was ridiculous. I've seen that crap happen to me before back in 2009, and it's a salty feeling, because it's like getting killed by a magical cylinder. And okay, for upcoming decks that are going to be very good, there of course there's also World Chalice. Oh, sorry, forgot about World Chalice. World Chalice is probably going to enjoy having the Rescue Rabbit, but I'm actually not too sure. Do you guys actually want the extra Rescue Rabbit, or do you prefer the Venus thing going on? Well, you guys let me know. ABCs and Spirals. That is going to be probably, I think, the most dominant decks. ABCs, of course, with Destrudo, of course, after Circuit Break, none of their cards got hit because, of course, they're both kind of under the radar. And to promote Spirals, they want Spirals to just really push forward. Spirals is super consistent, really easy to do. You need a ton of hand traps to actually counter that deck. And ABC can set up some really annoying boards with Decode Talker. And I mean, like, you can't target, and you're gonna get your stuff banished fairly quickly. It's just so pressuring. So you need Kaijus, except the Kaiju Slumber got, well, limited to 1, so there's that trade-off. So the future decks, speaking of like the Dark Hole and the Kaiju Slumber getting hit, Spirals, one of Spirals' weaknesses is that you can use the board wipe, and Proxy Dragon cannot protect the board because the things that were going to be destroyed instead were already being marked for destruction, so you can't protect it. But since you're reducing the number of board wipes by 2, what they're trying to say is they're really trying to promote the Struggling Battle in Circuit Break, because Struggling Battle is a form of board wipe, but it's slower. It eats up your, basically you have to trade your battle phase for it to actually maximize the efficiency of that card. So there's that stuff going on too. Is there anything I've missed? Is there anything that you guys want to discuss down in the comment section below? Leave them a comment down there. I will read it. I'll respond. I'll do everything. And also there is a giveaway happening, so the link is in the description as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I am going to make some, well, exhibition matches for you guys to enjoy. My past one, just quality-wise, not good enough. So until then, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit me up with a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, hit that subscribe button. I love you guys. I love you all. And I keep on dueling. And don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job, and you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.